Hey guys, this outfit looks familiar, right? Yeah, because I filmed that intro and outro for Treasure Island today, just now. Hi guys, it's Lashette from Scarlet Moon Creations, and I am back with a new video. This is my Clash of Steel review, discussion, spoilery vlog, though I don't know how spoiler deep I will get. I'm doing the Remixed Classics read along where I read each of the books in the Remixed Classics series, where, you know, BIPOC and LGBTQIA plus authors remix classics, and there are 9 books for 9 months. The first book was A Clash of Steel by C.B. Lee. This is remixing Treasure Island. Bonus reads for this read-along are to read the original classic. So I've already done a discussion video about Treasure Island. Now we get to A Clash of Steel. I have not read from this author before, though I want to now. I was looking at the, I think, comics or graphic novels that she has out that I'm high-key interested in. So, Clash of Steel, we're following a young woman who has kind of grown up being somewhat sheltered in China in 1826 China. Let me just read the synopsis because okay, the sun is setting on the golden age of piracy, and the legendary dragon fleet, the scourge of the South China Sea, is no more. Its ruthless leader, a woman known as the head of the dragon, is now only a story, like the one Xiang has heard all her life. She desperately wants to prove her worth, especially to her mother, a shrewd businesswoman who never seems to have enough time for Xiang. Her father is also just a story, dead at sea before Xiang was born. Her one memento of him is a pendant she always wears, a simple but plain piece of gold jewelry. But the pendant's true nature is revealed when a mysterious girl named An steals it, only to return it to Xiang in exchange for her help in decoding the tiny map scroll hidden inside. The revelation that Xiang's father sailed with the dragon fleet and tucked away the secret changes everything. Rumor has it the legendary head of the dragon had one last treasure, the plunder of 1,000 ports, hidden away on an island shrouded in mist. Xiang is convinced this map could lead to the fabled treasure. Captivated with the thrill of adventure, she joins An and her motley crew in pursuit of the island. But the girls soon find that the sea, and especially those who sail it, is far more dangerous than the legends led them to believe. So, okay, library book, but look at that map. So, if you guys want to buy this, there's these gorgeous maps. This gorgeous map inside the end papers. Gorgeous. One, I have to start out by saying I appreciate that there is a pronunciation guide in the back, which also gives a little bit of info. Shang. Oh, sorry. Oh, Shang. Oh no, I was Shang. Shang? Shang? Okay, it's Shang, not Shang. This was a little bit predictable. And not because it's a remix of Treasure Island. I enjoyed this. I wound up giving it 3.5 stars, which is better than Treasure Island. And it is. The modernized language helps a whole lot. I love the historical elements. This is historical fiction. I'm not sure that Treasure Island is not just a fever dream by Robert Louis Stevenson. I think I've heard that Blackbeard is based off of a real pirate, but that might be the extent of that. This, though, is based on historical pirates in China. I very much appreciate what's also in the back here. There's, other than the translation, there's language notes. So C.B. Lee explains like why she chose certain words in Cantonese or Vietnamese, and certain spellings and how they translate to English or romanized in English. The same with Mandarin. There is historical notes as well, which was really cool because the pirate queen of the Dragon Fleet, Zhang Yisao, is real. And as is the Dragon Fleet, though I don't know that it wasn't called the Dragon Fleet, but I'm not sure if Zhang Yisao was called the Pirate Queen while alive, but since then, talking historically, she has been. So pirates, for the most part, that I'm aware of are, like Treasure Island type. The whole Buccaneers, just kind of like the cowboys of the sea, if you will, or mercenaries of the sea, depending on how you look at it, positively or negatively, out to find their fortunes in this unknown world and universe. And then more modernly, pirates in I guess the Mediterranean or the Asian seas and around South Africa or Western Africa. And quite honestly, it just seems like people trying to make a living without the superpowers of the world, like harassing them and taking over everything. I have my opinions, but yeah, we're not going to get too deep into that. So learning more about pirates from the Eastern Hemisphere was really interesting. And then like trying to orient the past 1826 to what these places and countries are called nowadays. So all of the historical elements were really cool and completely different from Treasure Island. Like, we're in a different part of the world. While Western peoples are referred to, it's not too directly. Like, I think there was a comment that Shang's teacher mentioned when she saw some American men about how, loud they are, but also our country is run there, as in it's not this country, and how their country is run, and it's a little weird to them, or to him at least. Again, not directly mentioned, those are people from the United States of America, but the inferences are there, so I appreciated that. Dipping her toes into the historical issues between countries like China and Vietnam and Thailand and several other places in the vicinity. Tensions were high. The history of the empire in China at that time, and how things have changed, and what things were like before. Maybe the girls like Shang and Ang are not old enough to really know too many details firsthand, but see kind of the results. So that's the biggest difference. So definitely feeling the remix vibe of this. Like, we're taking pirates adventure, kid not knowing quite what is going on and getting wrapped up in something that they not they probably have no business being wrapped up in, and going on an adventure. So those themes are similar. There's, betrayal left, right, and center, which is also similar. I think it's a bit of a coming of age. They as well, Shang, maturing in a relatively short amount of time. This takes place over a longer period of time, I think, than Treasure Island does. Flashbacks aside, I believe it does. It's hard to tell with people being at sea how long they were at sea. So take that with a grain of salt. If you read both, let me know what you think in the comments down below. There is a female relationship in this, so it's a bit sapphic, but it is I think this is like young YA. Reading age-wise, they're pretty much even. It's like I said, a young YA. They don't do anything more than kiss. So spoilers for that. One of the big twists was really obvious, and maybe CB Lee knew that, and the foreshadowing was always there, so you're just like waiting for this to be revealed, and then she throws in a bunch of other twists like, hey, you were looking over here, and that did happen, but this is why you were blindsided by that. Maybe not blindsided, but you weren't expecting that, so I appreciate that. Like I said, the betrayals happen, people die in this, and it's just as sad. Maybe even sadder because you understand what is being said. A big difference though, I think, unlike Jim Hawkins, just like, wanting to go on this adventure and get some money or treasure, the squire and I forget the other dude what he did, but them deciding, and the doctor decided, hey, we're gonna take this kid along with us, right? Did no one ask his mom? But anyway, Shannon decides on her own, and it's for purposes of figuring out the scroll that was in the necklace and pendant that her dad gave her. So it's a more direct connection to the treasure and the thrill and things like that. We get more background on her and her life. Like, I mean, the synopsis basically explains it. Like, she's kept kind of sheltered, but her mom is not around very often. So while sheltered, she's a little bit of a wild child, not crazy, but she likes to be outside. She likes to climb trees. She likes to, not be at her studies or whatever unless it's, cool stuff happening. And her mom wants her to be this pretty delicate, expensive thing that she could basically sell to the highest bidder through marriage. And that's not what Sean wants. I really liked how in the beginning there's kind of Shang trying to appease her mother but also still get her way. Not the most positive way of saying it, but I think that I was like on the edge of my seat trying to figure out how are they going to make their two ideas of Shang's life fit. Like, how is she going to convince her mother, or how is her mother going to convince her? I was really looking forward to Shang taking over at the tea house and seeing how that was going to go, because apparently she can't even really cook. The mom comes across very like, oh, I want what's best for my daughter. The betrayals at the end, I feel, are more personal as well. Like, super fan of Found Family, so I love when Chang actually gets on the boat with An and her crew, her family, and like that was very cool. The fights and things like that, the variety of the characters as well, the personalities. I think CB Lee did a really great job. I just wish there was a little bit more solidifying their relationship, the two girls. I wasn't fully believing it. I'm like, well, maybe going forward, but I don't know. I was never one of those people like, oh, teenagers don't really know what love is. It's what they have is like infatuation or like low-key obsession, but not like something lasting. I think teenagers can do that. So I don't want to just be like, well, it is a YA romance, so that's probably why it feels shallow. No, I don't want to say that. But I wish there was a little bit more about that. Otherwise, I think that the theme of this kid who's not used to this type of action life, of being basically on a deserted island, having to fend for themselves in the world or on the island, on the ship, was done just as well in this as Treasure Island. I much prefer this book, just putting it out there. Yeah, there's more politics or more of a historical and political backdrop for, reasonings and things like that, which really grounds this story in reality, unlike Treasure Island, which seems like Robert Louis Stevenson's imagination completely. And I'm like, that's fine. I just enjoyed this more because of that. I'm trying to think if there were any other themes that I may have missed. Oh, because of the historical elements and, being grounded in reality, you see both the positive and negatives of piracy and people's opinions about piracy, despite what the law says about it in China, and how, things might be different if they go to another part of the sea and whatnot. As far as the treasure goes, that was also more interesting. The finding of the treasure, it was like the map and then having to figure out this, that, and the other. I think it was pretty relatively straightforward. I mean, again, this young adult, we didn't get like crazy complex or whatever. Honestly, anybody who got that map would have figured it out. I have the map and, able bodies to go up and down the island to different spots. No dead bodies necessary. This one, or I can't believe that. The surprise character on the island in Treasure Island didn't really happen here, which, good. There's a surprise survivor, but it has nothing to do, well, it doesn't directly have anything to do with the island itself. So this stands completely on its own. Didn't need to read Treasure Island, and there's not too much crossover because so much is changed. It's like, let's put piracy over there and let's have a young girl instead of a young boy from England, a young girl from China, wanting more, go on an adventure to find herself and her father and the treasure. And we added some romance. And I feel like I sound like I'm belittling this, but I'm not. It was great. Just what I didn't love about this, I think just maybe attributed to me not being the appropriate age group this is focused towards. But it was sweet and fun and a little heartbreaking. Like I said, I did tear up. So that is the first remix classic done. Guys, if you are joining me, let me know what you thought of this book in the comments down below. I'm not sure if the remix classics are supposed to be retellings, and then if that matters. I'm also not sure how I feel about retellings in the first place. The next book that I'm going to talk about, So Many Beginnings, is a remix classic of one of my favorite classics of all time. So that is the book for me. But honestly, I usually try to avoid retellings. I'm like, why? Why? For what reason? This was a great reason, and I'm super glad. Also, in the back there are there's like a bibliography or where you can read more about recommended reading about the Red Banner Fleet, and there we go, and Zhang Yisao, and Chinese piracy, or Southeast Asian piracy, or East Asian piracy. It's also on CB Lee's website, so link in the description. Yeah, if you guys are reading the remix classics with me for this read along this year, let me know what you thought of our first one down in the comments below. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree? Any questions, thoughts, quotes that you really enjoyed? Leave them in the comments. Guys, like this video if you like this, subscribe. If you're new, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video is coming. So you know, this was the last book I read in the month of February. So when I did my mid-February wrap-up, I should have just called that my February wrap-up, but I didn't realize at the time that I was going to be doing these separately. Guys, and I was hoping to finish another book that month, but it is what it is. You can also find a link to my Etsy shop where I make all natural bath and body products for magical and mundane purposes, as well as offer tarot and oracle card readings. There is a 10% off discount code just for my YouTube watchers. Check it out. Also linked in the description are ways you can help and support the people of Palestine and hopefully stopping their genocide and getting them their lands and homes back. And ways you can help and support the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo, getting them their lands and homes back, stopping their genocide and enslavement in mines so that we can have lithium-ion batteries in everything. Find out more. Links in the description. Please share them. And there's also links to my Instagram and Twitter accounts if you'd like to follow me anywhere else. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.